Hey, music lovers. Chris Hess coming to you from Lexington, Massachusetts, and this is Chapter 1 of my series on how to make your first virtual choir project. This first video is an introduction to virtual choirs and to the series to try to give you an idea of whether watching these videos will be worth your while. If you're just looking for the how-to instead of the what and the why, just skip to the next video where I start rolling out the nitty-gritty brass tacks where the rubber meets the road. The audience I'm creating this for is anyone who's either considering making a virtual choir or who has already decided to do it and wants to know what they've gotten themselves into. If you're a choir director and your senior minister or board chair has just forwarded you an Eric Whitaker video and asked if we can do that, this series is for you. If you're the biggest geek in your choir and everyone is asking if you know how to build a virtual choir, this is for you. If you're just curious, I'm happy to have you here as well, but one of the lenses we're going to be looking through is how a virtual choir gets made on a deadline and with limited resources. If none of that describes you, go watch a bad lip-reading video. They're hilarious. Okay, so what is a virtual choir? If you're watching this, you probably already have a pretty good idea. A virtual choir is a video which shows singers and possibly other musicians performing at the same time. The key difference between a virtual choir and a video of a real choir is that each performer in a virtual choir is recorded separately. Each of those individual videos is then composited together into a single video so you can see and hear everyone at once. The performances are synchronized, thereby creating the illusion of an ensemble performance. You've probably already seen virtual choirs, but I'll link one that I did here, in case you want to see what I'm talking about. So, why would you want to make a virtual choir? I can think of several reasons, and because I'm from the 80s, I am now going to show you a slide to prove it. First off, they're great outreach tools if you want to show off your choir to people who can't come see you in person. Second, these projects offer the control freaks among us a lot of control over the sound and look of a performance. If you've ever wished that you could tweak the sound of your choir at the singer level in real time, you'll love what you can do in post-production of a virtual choir. You can tune the mix between singers and between parts. You can sync entrances and exits perfectly. You can tune pitchy notes or even wrong notes. And that's just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. Third, when you can't gather physically to sing, you can still perform. Fourth, and this is the sweet spot for me, these projects are very tech-heavy, and the technology is freaking cool. Okay, you might wonder why I'm choosing to say virtual choir instead of virtual ensemble. You can do these projects with instrumentalists and even other performing arts. I just think virtual choir sounds better and is probably more likely to be a search term that people are looking for on YouTube. Another distinction I'm going to make is that I am talking about remote recording. One could set up a single studio to record audio and video and have your performers take turns capturing their performances. That is not what I'm talking about here. I'm recording this during the spring of 2020, and we're in the middle of a public health crisis that keeps us from singing together in the same place. For the rest of this series, I am assuming that all of the recording for your virtual choir will be done individually in different locations using cell phones. I'm going to assume that the mixing and editing of the final virtual choir video you're going to make is being done on the kinds of computers that real people own, as opposed to professional editing workstations that cost tens of thousands of dollars. I'm going to try and keep things product agnostic for the most part. I'll describe the kinds of tools you'll need, and I'll describe a little bit about the tools I use, but I'm going to try to make everything applicable to the process for everyone. A quick word about me. I've created a bunch of these virtual performance videos for the choir I sing in and other ensembles in our church. I get a little better with each project I do, and I hope I can save you some time and headaches with your projects. I'm a volunteer. I'm an amateur. I'm still learning. If you have a better way to do something I describe in any of these videos, please don't hesitate to let me and everyone else know in the comments. In the next video, I'm going to go over the virtual choir process and what resources you'll need. Thanks for watching. I've been Chris. See you on the other side.